I think the court is just about to be adjourned for lunch, day 2. A few exciting, is that the best way to describe it? Things are happening. There's a guy called Nick Wallace who is tweeting live, or posting live, as it's now called X, from inside the courtroom. And there's been a few developments. They almost pushed to get a no case for answer, but that's not happened. Some new video evidence has come to light, and Tarquin's the protagonist in this, or Sophia Brooks. We all know he's a professional troll. Hello everyone. We know he's a professional troll, but we just need to get his character and the things that he's done out to the judge, so the judge can see what this guy has been doing. Of course, he went to the Battle of Ideas, and that's where this court case has come from, because he was harassing people at the Battle of Ideas. Now, Kelly J. Keane, who I spoke with in the earlier video, the earlier live stream today, she has a Let Women Speak event. Now, Tarquin, Sophia Brooks, allegedly, I've heard this from numerous sources, posed as a detransitioner. So that's somebody who was caught in the cult and then all of a sudden realised they made a mistake, and they detransitioned. Just like Eli, just like many others. And he went undercover as a detransitioner and went to a Let Women Speak event and to gain information and stuff. So I think that evidence, now don't quote me on this, I'm not sure, it's just rumours that I'm hearing, is maybe going to be shown in court. So basically they're exposing the character of Tarquin, Sophia Brooks. What they're doing is they're showing that rather than be this person that's the victim and felt harassed, alarmed and distressed when he went to the Battle of Ideas, to thank you, Anne, for the donation, thank you so much, you know, to be an agitator and disrupt. He's tried to play him as the victim. This is what I say when people say to me, Steve, why do you stay so calm? Why do you remain so calm? It's because these people are professional agitators that do just enough to make you react. And then when you react, they play the victim. And that's what they've done to Graham here. And that is why you will see me remaining very, very calm on all my videos, because I don't want to go through what Graham's been through. And I wouldn't put myself in that position. The only time you see me I even remain calm, but the only time I've had to take action is when the guy in Brighton decided to run off with my boards. So I took him down and he fucked around and found out, you know. If someone tries to steal my stuff, I will do everything within the law, and I'll use proportionate force to be able to take that back, if I'm able to. You know, there might be a case where I'm not able to, when there's too many of them, they surround me. I'm not going to do that, but the point I'm making is that they are absolute masters in provoking people just enough so they don't get in trouble, and just wanting that reaction. You saw it in Chester when that big fat blob of a thing with the curly hair, and you couldn't tell if he was a man or a woman, went behind me, squirted syrup up the back of the boards, right? He's like, I haven't touched you, you know, in his nice gay camp way. Not that I've got anything against gay people, you know that. This isn't an anti-gay, anti-lesbian thing. I'm just describing, you know, he was this effeminate guy. He was like, I've not touched him. But what he did do is squirt me with all this syrup. So, you know, that's what they do. The sun's just got really bright. And of course, he did that with Graham. So it's kind of like, there we go. We've got Turf Island. Leslie, thank you very much for the donation. Really much appreciated. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing the TikTok channel. What I'm talking about here in Chester, if you go to my TikTok channel, Edge of the Matrix, the first 2 pinned videos show clips of that. The full video from Chester is on YouTube. But those 2 clips went viral. 2.5 million views and 2.7 million views. So that's it. Every time they assault me, you know, make themselves look stupid, it goes viral. So we've got some many people behind. I say that, it's not that many now. We'll be expecting more people will be turning up very soon, and people are going to be coming out. But we've got 140 people viewing already. Thank you for your support, guys. I'll just give you a quick turnaround. So this is outside, obviously, Westminster Magistrates Court. It's still mirrored. I couldn't work it out. I'll work it out eventually. I'll give you a full 360. Everybody here is in support of Graham. I think the only mainstream media now is the guys in the back there, and they work for an Irish broadcaster, and I think they're very positive. So I don't know why the rest of the mainstream media are. Well, I could hazard a guess. I could say that, you know, if this turns out well for Graham, they don't want to report it, you know, and maybe we feel like there's a change in the air, it's going that way. I think most of them want to show him in a bad light, particularly The Guardian, who well and truly infiltrated The Guardian. There's a few more police in the background. I'll show you those. This huge copper here. He's huge, and then there's a few more down the back there. Does anybody see this lady behind us flying the Union Jack? On the Union Jack it says Turf Island. Does anybody not know what Turf Island is or means? If there's anybody that doesn't know, I can explain it to you. Yeah, Peter, you can't believe a word from the mainstream. So Fergus has no idea, neither does S. Wally. So, a turf. Oh, thank you, Parker Monkey, for the donation. Thank you so much. Okay, so a turf is a slur term, right? What the trans rights activists use when they're talking about second wave feminists. So it's an acronym, and it stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist, right? But let me break that down. So trans exclusionary, so you're excluding trans people, right? And so because of that, you're a radical feminist. These are basically women that say that trans women are men, right? So remember, a trans woman, trans equals pretend women are men, because that's what they are. So if you say that a man in a dress who identifies as a woman is not a real woman, then you're a TERF. And I love TERFs. I'm a proud TERF. I've been called a TERF. People are coming out, so something's going. Let's see what we can have. And Turf Island, Britain was called Turf Island. I think it was J.K. Rowling that said that. So we've got people coming out now. Thank you so much, Dirty Corn 69, for the donation. Thank you. Love the name. Yeah. I would imagine that there's so many TERFs watching this. All these ladies here are TERFs, but what they've done is they've taken that word back. You know, it's become, I don't know, it's become a badge of honour. to be called a turf, because do you know what they're saying? Yes. Cyrus Carter, thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Rather than it being a slur, it's become something to be proud of. Yes, I will go to other places. Who's that? Marshall Riser will be going to other places. Let us know certain places in the chat where I could go to. But I am going up to York. We've got a lot of things on, and it's difficult to be able to get everywhere. The plan is to get all around the country. I'm in this for the long haul. It's not going to be here today, gone tomorrow. So don't worry, I'll get there eventually. Yeah, so I think it was J.K. Rowling. Someone might be able to tell me if it definitely was, but she coined the phrase Turf Island, because J.K. Rowling's Queen Turf, I think. So we've got 230 people in the house. Yeah, Stockport Sunderbank would be good, yeah. People know I'm from Stockport. We'll see. I think Stockport is becoming more woke. Hey, here's Kelly J. Keane. Yeah, Kelly J. Keane's going to interview people as well, so I'll see if I can get on her. I'll see if I can get interviewed by Kelly, and I'll put the live stream up while we're doing that. That would be nice. So I'm going to find out what's been happening. I'll speak to people. There's some mass people. Hello.
In there.
I heard he was. Right, I'll speak to him. Right. Guys, got a treat for you. Somebody mentioned that, and I wasn't sure if it was true or not, but it's been confirmed. Chris Elston, Billboard Chris, who I've copied, is down, and he's inside the court. So I'll get to speak to him. Hopefully we'll have a really good interview with him. It would be really good to do this live with him. Do you know what I might do, guys? Do you know what? I was going to do a proper interview with my other camera and microphone, but I can just clip the live, I'm sure. So. Here's some of the young ladies fighting this. How did it go today? Hi, did it go okay?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Good.
I mean, when it finishes later, we're coming back to start.
Yeah, okay.
When we come back, whatever, let you know.
Right, okay. Brilliant. Okay, excellent stuff.
Evidence, but it's been deemed inadmissible.
It's inadmissible now, is it? Right, okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
So yeah, posing, you radicalised.
I know.
Kind of. She did. In fact, yeah. I remember asking you a question at
Responsible for Steve.
when was it? At the Jump for Freedom Festival.
No,
I'm responsible for all the men. Yeah.
So. Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm a fan on YouTube. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good stuff.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. What are you here today for?
Yeah, Graham Linehan's in there. He's under trial.
What's that case?
So he was harassed by a trans rights activist.
Oh yeah.
And he was putting the phone in his face, and there was an altercation over the phone.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I want to meet you
Chris,
together.
how are you doing?
Good.
I've got two people here that are partly responsible for me doing this. You're one of them, and Kelly's the other.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I came out here earlier, actually. I got here late,
Good luck with it.
but there was nothing going on.
You're fighting a good cause, guy.
You get it.
Because from Russia was left.
So how's things? You're here for the 13th, aren't you? The rally on the 13th.
Well, I've been here since Saturday. I was at a conference
Right. Okay.
with
Do you want to chat? We're live streaming, by the way.
we're getting lunch, but maybe after.
We'll do it after. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. I'll get a camera and microphone set up if you want.
Okay.
Good
job.
Awesome. And I'm down on the 13th. You're going to speak as well. Is that correct? I'm going to press pass for that so I can get behind the scenes and we can talk there.
Yeah, I do things like right now.
Awesome. Yeah. You were part of my inspiration. And that's why I emailed you first. I didn't want you to just copy without reaching out. But I want
More
more.
the merrier.
That's what I think. That's why I'm thinking I may start a movement, if I can, in the UK of men that want to do this. Because I don't want to be doing it on my own. I want more and more people to do it. Yeah.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, of course. I should get my signs and we can do one later.
Yeah, if you brought them.
All right, let's go get lunch. I'll see you after.
Thanks for coming.
There you go. First meeting with Chris Elston. So, so that was a first. And it's straight on the live stream, so excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Oh, the wind's getting up. Yes, first time. Yeah. Oh. So that would be good if me and Chris. Hi Suraj, I can see you. I'll copy both of you. What did you say? I'll copy both of you and call myself Edge of the Billboard. We've got the other agitator man there in his black and white cow hat. I'm sure he's got like autism or something. There's something not quite right there. Something really not quite right. Thank you, John. Really appreciate the support. Where?
No, he was here yesterday and he followed
I've got a message there from Hack and Slash. It said you never answered my email. Guys, just to let you know, I've been inundated with messages and emails, and I've just not had chance to get through them. I really haven't. Everything's mental. I didn't stop working, editing videos until 11:15 last night, and I was out all day. It's very, very difficult to be able to answer every single one. I would be in front of. Hello, here he is. He's videoing me. Don't run away. Come and chat. Come and chat. Mr. Agitator. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Together last edge. No, it isn't. At Judge148.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you go at Judge148. And then I'll be able to see that photo, won't I? Yeah, brilliant, thank you. Do you have to add me as a friend?
No, it's this whole sort of like green agenda, which is basically
Do you want to try and search me on that?
I'm a bit stupid.
Yeah, so if you're going to... Do you want me to keep you off the camera? Yeah.
Oh no, it's just like that.
It's all right. Do you want me to have a look for you?
Yeah, go on.
Let's have a look. Okay. In fact, I think you might have to get out of this post to be able to search me. Let's try it. Yeah, it's not coming up. If you cancel the post and search me, should I do that? Can you do that? Okay, so I'll do cancel.
Just a minute, put the other phone. You still recording?
He's pointing at me, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so if I come out of that, go into X. Yeah, that's why it's not doing that thing. Go into X.
I'm sure I'm following you anyway.
Sure, that was my first video.
You spoke yesterday, didn't you? I was watching the video. Yes, no, not Tom. No, not Tom.
There you go, I judge one for it. Following.
No, you
So I am following you. I knew I was.
So if you cancel that, cancel, go to, that's the post, isn't it? Photos. Alright, you know what to do from there. Sorry guys, we're just trying to, we've got a photo with Billboard Chris, the first ever one, and this lady here, she took a picture, sorry I don't know your name. Josie here, took a picture, she's trying to tag us in it on X, so. I don't know if there's going to be that much happening now, guys. I'll keep the feed running. I know we've got Kelly J. Keane doing interviews down there, so I might go and speak to her in a bit. See if she wants to speak to me. Is that working? There you go. It's done. Brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. I just felt this big hand come down on my shoulders because he's about 6'2", Chris. Right. Yes. Yeah. No, it's okay. No, I've said that I'm going on the 13th. Yeah. Yeah. So there's not going to be a massive amount going on now, guys. I'll keep the stream running because we've got 300 people there. Maybe some collaboration later with Chris. That would be good. I need to know what Chris does about shipping his boards and get some advice. So, we're having photos taken. From that guy there. Sometimes you can tell when they're not friendly. They kind of look at you and take a picture, and off they go. Or you can see when you're having conversations and they stand just within earshot of the conversation and they fold their arms like this and look at you. You know that they're not friendly. Hi from Australia. So Billboard Chris is over from America. No, Billboard Chris is actually Canadian. So Chris, I'll put you this way, there's more happening this way behind us. You can see Kelly J. Keane in the distance interview. Billboard Chris is Canadian. He does do a lot of stuff in America. He's even been called to the White House. I think he spoke with J.D. Vance at the White House. He's over because of the Freedom of Speech rally on the 13th of September, run by Stephen Yaxley Lennon, aka Tommy Robinson. So Chris is going to be speaking. Me and Sue are going to be there. It's a Freedom of Speech rally. So, as I say, this is a war on the freedom of speech. That's why we're going. Got to be live streaming the day as well. So yes. So if you can't make it to London on the 13th of September, tune in. Go set up a live stream. Hopefully we'll get thousands of people on the live stream. Let's bring back freedom of speech. Do you need tickets for the 13th? No, of course not. It's free. It's going to be quite possibly the biggest rally this country's ever seen. There was the biggest one back in 2003 was the rally against the Iraq War, when Tony Blair was in power. And then, what a lot of people don't know, there was huge protests in London during the freedom movement, during the COVID times. 250,000 to 1 million people at its height. It was massive. This could be bigger. This one could be bigger. You know, I think we're kind of like at a turning point. They're trying to push us towards civil unrest, and I think that's by design. Oh, we've got a they them or a masked up they them going past. Hood up with a mask on. Yeah, I feel that we're being pushed towards civil unrest. I don't want to say a civil war, but you've got to be on your guard, because if the country does erupt, what the government can do is it can impose extraordinary powers. It can declare a state of emergency, and that gives it, you know, there's the Civil Contingencies Act 2007 maybe, I can't remember, just look up, or 2006, look up the civil, those dates might be wrong, but it's round about then, not long after 9/11. Under the Civil Contingencies Act, the government can bring in extraordinary powers which they would not get away with during a democracy, in a normal democracy. So they declare a state of emergency, and they can do extraordinary things. So if, you know, they have contingency plans for when the people rise up. So it depends. The state can handle you. It depends how many people rise up. You know, Gandhi was really peaceful. That's why it worked when he, you know, his peaceful protests in India eventually worked. When you start to commit violence, then the state can handle you. It knows how to deal with you, because the state has, this is international relations speaking here, the state has a monopoly on the legitimate use of violence within its borders, and it claims that legitimacy through elections. Right, that was the spiel. So, when I say violence, how does it exercise that violence? Through its police force and through its military. So, if the whole country erupted, it couldn't do anything. And we, you know, change, you know, there has been bloody revolutions in the past. You know, there was they don't teach you about the English Revolution in the 16th, was it 16 something? Which is the 17th century. I think it was then. Somebody might be able to tell me. They don't want to teach you about revolution in England because they don't want it to happen again. Obviously, we all know about the French Revolution, Louis XVI. So revolutions, you know, happen through history. It's always happened. Governments know about those, and they have contingency plans to deal with those revolutions. Just holding my camera when people stare at me and walk past, like her, because we do get camera grabbers. Yes, it is Kelly J. Keane behind me. She's doing some interviews. She's interviewing people. I might see if she wants to speak to me in a bit. Yeah, so there is, you know, there's a change happening. My belief, our government is not working in the interests of the people, and that's a belief held by a lot of people. There are powers greater now than sovereign governments. There are powers that want to break down. I'll have Kelly J. Keane in the back there. There's powers that want to break down national sovereignty in order to bring in a one world government. That's my belief. And the people are rising up against that. National sovereignty is the enemy of the globalists, right? National sovereignty is the enemy of the globalists. They don't want strong countries with national identities because it works against them. What they want to do is flood countries with foreign nationals, illegal migrants from around the world, so you lose over time, so you lose that sense of national sovereignty and tradition. And you can see people are fighting back against that, because you see all the flags going up all around the country. You know, peaceful non-compliance is really good. Can you imagine if everybody, what would happen if everybody stopped paying tax? The government's, it's fucked, isn't it? But it's so different, it's easier said than done, so I get it. But if you're not following politics closely, and I don't follow it closely, but government bring in legislation all the time to erode our civil rights. There is a bill which is close to, I don't know if it's had its second reading in the House of Lords. So when they have legislation that gets passed through the House of Commons, goes up into the House of Lords before it's passed. Now, there's a new crime and policing bill. Now listen to this. Everybody needs to know this. Which will give the police, if it's passed, powers to enter your property without a warrant. Okay? So gone is this idea of, I'm going to say a misogynistic statement now, an Englishman's home is his castle. If that bill is passed, if that crime and policing bill is passed, allowing police to enter your property without a warrant, then that's your whole privacy gone. Now, they're very clever in how they word this legislation. I'm trying to think of how it's worded. It says, police can enter a property if it believes there are stolen goods within that property, such as a mobile phone which has been tracked to that location using GPS. So someone might think, well, that's fair enough. You know, I'm not going to have a stolen mobile phone in my house. And if my phone was in somebody's house and the location that phone was known in that address, then I'd want the police to be able to go in and get it. Right, let me give you a few things here. When could you ever get a police officer, you know, if you report your phone missing, do you think that they're going to go, oh, right, I'll get an officer on it straight away. We've located it through, Find My iPhone app, and we know it's in this property. Right, we'll send the cavalry down to get your mobile phone. The police don't do that, do they? And the wording is to retrieve or locate stolen goods, such as a mobile phone, but not exclusively to a mobile phone that's been tracked with GPS. So that's just very, very clever wording to be able to get that bill passed through, because if the Houses of Parliament, the MPs or the Lords, are deliberating on which way to vote, they'll say, oh, well, it's a mobile phone. They word it in such a way that it sounds okay for them to do it, and then those powers will be abused. If the police want to come in your house, they can just say, oh, well, we've got reason to believe that there are stolen property within your house. So they can come in and they can kick your door down and come in if you say no. Yeah? Was there anybody on here aware of that? Let me know if you were aware, or let me know if you wasn't aware of that. Let me see in the comments, because I don't think there was many people that are aware of that. The new crime and policing bill. So, what can you do? You can speak to your MP about it. See, I was made aware of this a few weeks ago. And I don't know if it's had its second reading yet. But there's legislation being passed all the time to take away our freedoms. I'm watching people. You can only. This guy was there. See them two there. That guy was reading the signs. And I think you can look at the way he's dressed. You know, he's got a camera, so you know, he might be here for the trial, but he was looking at it and he looked absolutely flabbergasted that I would dare to have this sign, you know. Yeah, so that's the new, the powers of entry sign that that the police may get. So you're aware of that now, guys. That's what I'll try and do when I ever do live streams like this. Any knowledge that I get, I'll try and pass it on. Everything that I do is about awareness, things that people, members of the public, should be made aware of, you know, from what I believe, you know, and I believe in freedom. You know, one thing that will really take away our freedom, you know, I get called a conspiracy theorist all the time. When COVID kicked off, for the first time, I was at my jiu-jitsu club. Lots of guys wasn't turning up because they believe the mainstream media that, you know, this virus that's spreading like running amok is going to kill us all. A few of us carried on training. This was before the lockdown, and then there's all these conspiracy theories. I watched Event 201, and I realised that this had been pre-planned. And I said, they're going to use this as a way of trying to implement a cashless society. And I said, and what they want to do, one day we will all be controlled by technology. That's what I said to him. And it was, hey mate, it was, oh fucking, here we go, conspiracy Steve again. Fucking conspiracy Steve, you know. Same in the fire service. And Stephen is a plant, most definitely. Am I a plant? I don't know what you mean by that. Do you want me to stand in a fucking plant pot full of soil? Hey mate.
There you go.
All right.
I'll challenge you on an idea if you want.
You can do. Yeah. Do you want to do it? Because I'm live stream. I'm going to get challenged on an idea.
Yeah.
Right. I've got to put this higher because this guy is fucking huge. What's your name, mate?
Jody.
Jody. How are you doing,
Yeah,
Jody?
good mate. Good mate.
Yeah. Australian accent.
Yeah,
Right?
and I'm not against you, but I like the philosophy of keep men out of women's sports.
Yeah.
Right? And I've got a first principle that I try and live by, which is freedom first. So we should not be forcing anybody to do anything.
Yeah.
You can do what you want to do, and I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And we both live in freedom.
Yeah.
And the minute my hand touches your nose, that's the line. Yeah. So what I would say to counter this statement, maybe you want to unpack it more, is if men want to compete with women, and women are doing it freely of their own free choice, and the men are doing it of their own free choice, we should not stop people from wanting to compete with each other in sports or anything else. Now, where it becomes complicated, and where I think there needs to be some changes, because there are members in our community that want to compete in a particular sport, and those jurisdictions are under different organisations, and they say, yeah, we'll allow it.
Yeah.
So they're free to allow to serve whichever customers they want in their division, and it's up to us that disagree with that to create our own divisions that is strictly based on biology.
Yeah.
So the statement, keep men out of women's sports, I think that needs to be challenged a bit, because it's got a connotation of you imposing your morals on on another group of people in a society that I want freedom first. And when I say freedom first, I mean freedom from force.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Brilliant. We almost agree.
Yeah.
I agree with some things that you've said.
Yeah.
I would just extend that first thing, that first quote you said, freedom first.
Yeah.
I say people should be free to do what they want to do as long as it does not adversely affect anybody else.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
So.
And that's the hand. That's why I gave you the hand to the nose analogy.
Okay. So the next thing you said is if there was a category in sports where women and men agree to compete together, it should be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And I believe that too.
Great.
If women want to compete with men, that's fine. But then that wouldn't be women's sports. That would be mixed sports.
So you want to change the definition, how another organisation defines what they call their categories?
No, if you've got women's sports, that should be exclusively for women, adult human females.
Yeah.
You've then got men's sports, male, adult human male.
Yeah.
And if they want to compete together, you provide a separate category and call that mixed.
And you're free to do that.
And they're free to do that.
But you're free to do that.
Yes. If
Right
I
now.
want to, if I want to do that.
Yeah. If I want to do a three-legged race, right, and I call it a three-legged race, but really nobody's three-legged. They tie the legs together, right? But I call it three-legged. It's my organisation. I should have the freedom to say whatever I want it to.
Yeah, of course.
Say. Yeah. And you have the freedom to go, no, I want to make a division that it's actually four legs, but two legs are tied together in the three-legged race.
I do that too.
But that's the nuance on language.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you shouldn't be forcing anybody any language. If they want to call it something, you and me can recognise that's a bloke over there.
Yeah.
And if that division that owns that organisation goes, the blokes can compete in the women's, what we call women's thing, then I'm okay with it. I think I actually think, and I think you'll see it, is there'll be a group of women that make a coalition, and this is where you and me, we can't defend it. I'm with you all the way, but you and me, we are made inept to deal with that situation because we can't go in as men and attack other men that look like women. You know what I mean? We're kind of stuck. So this is one of those situations where women have to stick up for themselves. And I think there'll be a day when, say, women's freestyle, there'll be a starting block, there'll be a bloke in there competing in the women's
That's
division,
already happening.
and they'll all get ready to go, and only the bloke will jump in and swim and the women will stand up.
Stop,
And that's the fix. Because as soon as you do that, someone's embarrassed enough to go, well, I'm only competing against
things
myself.
like that have happened, haven't they? So there was the girl that was the fencer in the United States.
She put a thing down.
She went down and took a knee.
Yeah. But that has to happen as a group of females.
Yeah.
And right now it's not happening. So every female that dives into the pool is agreeing to compete with that person. And that's their freedom to choose.
Yeah, do you know what? I was here with Sharon Davis, the ex-Olympic medalist, yesterday. She's really onto this because, she lost out on the gold medal due to cheats taking testosterone. So she knows how unfair it is when they're.
But she doesn't own the Olympics. Olympics is a private organisation.
Yeah, so this is, so we were talking here about whether it's up to the women to not compete with them. Really, I don't think the organisation should be allowing it. Now, if you take some examples, and one of them is World Rugby, they looked at the evidence, okay, and then they banned all men from women's rugby.
Yes.
International, that's world. Are you a rugby player?
I used to be, but so I agree with their freedom to choose. But there's other organisations that don't choose that.
know.
And I support your voice in pushing them to go, look, don't allow it. I don't want to see your organisation allowing men competing with women because you see it. Women get fractured faces and all sorts from a man overexerting his
male power over
male power in a female. But my underwriting principle is freedom from force. And if I owned a division in sport, and it's my choice, just like if I own a donut shop and I don't want to serve one customer because of whatever reason I want that freedom for me, and I want the freedom for you also to complain about it. But it's it can't. I don't. You're standing in front of a government building, so I don't want the government to get involved and put force onto divisions and create rules. I like the freedom that there's a whole mix, and I think what will happen is the market will decide anyway. And I think the market will decide we don't like seeing that. And in some divisions, maybe we might like it. We might like to see a weaker guy go up against a strong MMA fighter. It might be interesting for some people. Yeah, we might like that. You might see Amanda Nunes fight an average MMA fight. Yeah, that might be entertaining. Yeah. And if people want to see it, and the two people competing go in willingly, and they're not being forced to compete, and they're not being forced out of competition, then I think ethically.
Well, yeah, I can give you an example where that's happened. Yeah. So I always use the example, to prove my case of Fallon Fox, who was the MMA fighter who broke Tamika Brent's orbital bone.
Yes.
Now, there's been another martial arts fight, mixed martial arts, and it was with a guy who was an ex-US United States Special Forces soldier, gone through the transition process. He used to be called Alan McLaughlin. Yeah. Now he calls himself Alana McLaughlin. Yeah. Right?
And he smashed the opponent, right?
No. So, although he's a Special Forces soldier in the US Army, and that's not to be dismissed and blinked about, his pictures of him online. Let's wait for this to go. Oh, it's gone past. His pictures of him. He's really jacked guy. Now he's stopped taking testosterone. And estrogen. Yeah. He's not quite as muscly as he was, and he wasn't the best fighter. Yeah. But he went up against a really good French MMA fighter, and they had a fight. It's online.
She was female. Yeah.
She was female, proper, but she knew she was fighting a man. Yeah. Even though I think he's fair play to him. I think he's had his tackle cut off and everything. Yeah. So they went into and they had the fight together.
So you agree with that? As long as they're both consenting.
As long as they're both consenting, then that's on the person that's consenting.
So I think that's conflicts with what you're saying.
No, because that's not women's sports.
But
that's a mixed category. Right. It was a one-off fight as a mixed category.
Okay, so you're happy to have mixed categories as long as they're called mixed categories.
As long as it's mixed, and then you have the choice. Take Fallon Fox.
What if I have an organisation and I say I want to call it a women's category, but I'm only going to have men in them? You want to limit my freedom to use that language?
So if you want to call it that, but put it, allow men into it, then it's not a women's category, and that's false advertising.
So you want the law to get involved there?
No, I just want you to be truthful.
Because you said it's false advertising as if because false advertising is a civil offence in UK law. So when you say that, it makes me feel like you want the government to get involved in that decision making. And what I want is maximum freedom. Yeah.
I want you to be honest. That's all. If you're saying it's a woman's category and allowing men into it, you're not being honest.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. They're not being honest, but we shouldn't force people to be honest with government. Yeah. The government's gun. Yeah? The government's got the power to imprison people, criminalise people, and penalise people. And we all know humans lie. Yeah. Every human lies, probably every day, right? Yeah. So I don't want a government, because you're in front of a government building, telling people they should be honest. We will work it out ourselves as individuals. Yeah. You know they're not being honest. I know they're not being honest, and that's why I say, well, I just won't watch it. I won't give my attention to it. Or I'll watch it in disgust, or I'll watch it in protest. But it's the keep them out thing, which is a form of advocating for control. In what I would say, I want everyone to be free, live and let live. Let them make their choice. And as soon as you say keep them out, it has a connotation of, well, I want some force on this thing because it doesn't sit morally right with you. But your morals are different from the next moral. So you have values, and you clearly value segregating men and women based on biology.
Yeah, for safety.
For safety.
And fairness.
Yeah, but isn't the safety of a woman that knows somebody's going in there that's biologically different to them, isn't her safety her responsibility, not yours?
Yes. Yeah, and that's her freedom to choose. Yeah. And we're all about freedom. That's her freedom to choose. Yeah.
So I'm just going deeper, and I'm going, when you say keep it out, I go, no, let's protest it together. But if you're gonna going to ask the government, I don't know if you are, you're not, but the sign sort of suggested that you want the government to make some rules. I'm against that part of it. I'm with you on the grounds, like ethically, I don't like it, but I like freedom more than I dislike that.
It's not the government that actually makes rules around sports, is it? It's the sporting bodies. Just like I told you, example of World Rugby.
Yeah.
Like you said, the
UFC's
Olympics.
been hammered by rules and regulations for years, and I hate that. I go, if people want to join it, if people want to take testosterone or steroids and compete, and if the organisation wants it, then the governing body, the regulator, it's a free market. It's their body, their choice. They're not imposing force on anybody else, but the government is imposing force on its citizens based on a moral ideology that some citizens like, and other citizens completely disagree with you. Now, I don't agree with them, but either. So I'm on your side on the decisions, but I just don't want the government telling them that they can't do something, because the government is the force. Until they're imposing force on me, then I want the government to step in and go, hey, you're not allowed. As soon as you touch that guy and impose physical force, it's free game. The world's free game.
Yeah. Well,
and I think that's the moral high ground.
what is?
I think my philosophy and what I'm arguing for with you in the friendliest way, because I agree with you. I share the same opinion. I just don't want the government exuding force on anyone, even if I don't like it, even if I don't like what they're doing, and even if they're competing with women, I think that sucks. I don't want the government coming in and going, no, you can't do that. In the same way, I don't want the government saying, well, if there's a division of sport where, I don't know, steroids or sports enhancing drugs, the government shouldn't get involved. I think it should be a free market.
Of where that happens. So in bodybuilding, bodybuilding, they do it. They use steroids.
Yeah, but in America, every bodybuilder is technically a criminal. Because steroids is illegal in America.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and it's a freer country than here. We're getting crushed here by regulation. And it's the reason we get crushed by regulation is because there's individuals in society standing in front of government buildings, shouting, demanding at the government for rules. And unfortunately, we don't have a government of leaders. We have a government that listen to the noise and knee-jerk reactors. Yeah, so we don't have a government that's guided on principles anymore. At least America has its constitution, even though it's moved a long way away from it. But that constitution gave a lot of freedom. We have the Magna Carta here, but it's
Do you live here, by the way?
Yeah, I live here. Yeah. I got an Aussie accent, but I was born in King's Cross.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So that was my gripe with the sign. But I'm with you on my opinion. I share with you. I just don't want government imposing rules, and this seems like you're asking for the government to impose rules. That sign in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
That was horrible, that video where people had to go, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get stuff chucked over me all the time.
I saw that one. Someone put soy sauce on your back or something.
Oh, that was the mildest.
Yeah.
It was treacle.
Yeah.
I've had soup and hot chili sauce, and someone actually run and took these words off.
Yeah, so that's force, and I'm against that. Yeah. I want you. I want you to be free in a public space to say what you want, and I would fight for that also. Yeah. And mainly because I agree with you.
I'm not calling to government. I'm just.
Okay.
I mean, this is a moral thing as well.
Yeah.
It's a fairness thing.
Yep.
It's a safety thing.
But as long as everyone's consenting in that arena.
Yeah. But then it's not women's sports, then, is it? That's the thing. It's a mixed you're making a value claim about definitions, and what you want things to be defined as. But other people, I agree with you, men and women are women, and I think I'm with you on that. Yeah. But I say, let them define themselves how they want. If someone wants to call themselves a leprechaun, who cares? Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, let them. I won't agree with them. Yeah. I'll probably likely side with you every time. But
it doesn't make him a leprechaun, does it?
No.
He calls himself. And likewise, if a man wants to call himself a woman, it doesn't make him a woman.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's why the legislation, what the government passed, the Gender Recognition Act, 2004, allowed that man to legally change his sex on his birth certificate, on his driving license.
So we don't want the government involved in that.
Yes.
Us people that care about freedom, we don't want the government deciding who gets to call each other what. I don't want the government telling me I'm citizen number 001X.
No,
you
get
know,
it.
I want to be free to do what I want.
Yeah.
And that was my thing because it seemed like, and you didn't say it.
Take a picture. Yeah.
I'm going inside, but it was nice.
What's your name, mate?
Jody. I said it again.
It really was nice to meet you.
And I like the YouTube video, and I think what you're doing is good, and it's educational. So I'm not against you on that.
Yeah.
It's the government getting involved in freedoms is what I'm.
Yeah, I'm not
about.
calling for the government to do that.
Yeah. Well, then we're good.
Right.
All right.
Cheers, man. Hi, mate. I always leave my cameras. This isn't on. I always leave them on for my safety. I don't know who you are. You could swing for me. I don't think you will. And I'm guessing you're not going to agree with me.
No, I do agree with you.
You do? Right, okay.
It's not just women's sports.
You can stand behind that if you don't. That's
It's the audio.
okay. Right. Listen, I always leave it on when I'm talking with people.
Well, I can't tell you. I had a big signal for you.
Did you?
Just 2 minutes.
Are you hanging around for a bit? Because I'm still on the live stream, but I'm going to end it soon because everybody's gone.
Oh, I don't know what time. I was going to wait to see if Graham came out. I don't know what time.
He'll be out. Going in for the afternoon, and I think they'll be out round about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Is this the
unless
last
it
day?
finishes. This is the last day.
We're
Yeah.
getting a result today now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. I trust that you're not going to.
I'll defend you if someone comes near you.
Right. Okay. Right, guys. Listen. Everybody's gone. The last few people are going into the court. I'm going to trust this guy. I'm going to turn my camera off and hope he doesn't attack me. I don't think he will actually. You can read body language and stuff like that. So I'll be back for the result, for the verdict this afternoon. So it's we've got 442 people in live stream. Thank you for everybody that's donated. I really appreciate that. I'll be back. There's a guy called Nick Wallace who's tweeting from inside the courtroom, so you can follow that on X. And if it finishes early, then I'll be here early. But if not, it's going to be around about 4 or 5 o'clock for the next live stream. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to speak to this guy. He's got something to tell me, he says. Okay, so let's see. Bye-bye for now.